Bonjour et bienvenue sur une nouvelle vidéo de Greener Side Language Academy. Hello and welcome to another video from Greener Side Language Academy. Today we're going to be looking at another video from the Beginners French category. Today we're going to be learning how to talk about where we live using the expression Où habites-tu? Où habites-tu? Let's get right into it. So let's set something straight. We know that in French there are two ways to address a person. And those two ways can be used to say three different things. We know that the tu form is informal and we use it to address one person. We also know that the vous form can be used formally with one person, or it can be used to address a group of persons. So if I'm addressing a friend or a family member, I would say, Où habites-tu? Où habites-tu? But suppose I'm addressing maybe my boss or someone I have a formal relationship with. I would ask that person, Où habitez-vous? Où habitez-vous? The same goes for if I were asking a group of persons where they live. Where do you all live? Où habitez-vous? Now let's take a look at the possible responses to this question. We know for sure that to respond to this question, we start by saying j'habite. J'habite means I live. However, what comes after depends on the place that we're talking about. So we could say j'habite dans, j'habite à, j'habite où, or j'habite en. It all depends on the place that I'm referring to. Of course, after all of these prepositions in bubbles that we see here, we have to add the name of a place, un lieu, a place. Let's get right into it. First, we're going to look at dans. So here are some expressions that we'd use with j'habite dans. J'habite dans really means I live in. Okay? So if I say j'habite dans, I can use it with une maison, un appartement, ou une maison de ville. J'habite dans une maison. I live in a house. J'habite dans un appartement. I live in an apartment. J'habite dans une maison de ville. I live in a townhouse. So these are some of the examples that we've seen of when to use j'habite dans. And of course, notice I am using the liaison when I say j'habite dans une maison. I pronounce the last consonant because the first letter of the word that follows is a vowel. That is une, it starts with the vowel U. So I use a liaison to connect the two sounds because we know that French is a language of flow and fluidity. So we have to sound like we're putting everything together in one. So j'habite dans une maison, j'habite dans un appartement, j'habite dans une maison de ville. What about j'habite à? J'habite à also means I live in, but it's just that in French, à is used instead when referring to a city, une ville. Alright, so here are some examples of cities around the world. We could say j'habite à Paris. J'habite à Paris. I live in Paris. J'habite à Montréal. J'habite à Montréal. I live in Montreal. J'habite à Kingston. J'habite à Kingston. I live in Kingston. J'habite à Bridgetown. J'habite à Bridgetown. I live in Bridgetown. And finally, j'habite à Fort-de-France. J'habite à Fort-de-France. I live in Fort-de-France. Let's look at j'habite où. And notice j'habite où is is the pronunciation for these two expressions, the one in orange and the one in blue. It's just that they're spelled differently, and we're going to see exactly why. Now for j'habite au, we use this expression, the first one in orange, when we're talking about countries that are masculine. Now let me explain myself. We know that in French, some words are masculine and some words are feminine. It doesn't mean that they have masculine or feminine qualities, it just means that grammatically they have a masculine form or a feminine form. Now the names of these countries happen to be masculine. So we use j'habite au, A-U-A-U. Alright, so j'habite au Canada, j'habite au Cameroun, Cameroon, j'habite au Maroc, I live in Morocco, j'habite au Congo, I live in Congo, j'habite au Brésil, I live in Brazil, j'habite au Mexique, I live in Mexico, et finalement, j'habite au Japon, I live in Japan. What about the second form that we see on the right in blue? J'habite au, A-U-X, A-U-X. What does that mean? Well, the forms of these countries are in the plural form. So what we do is that we add an X to indicate that it's plural. It doesn't mean that there are several countries, it just means that these countries have, the names of these countries are in a plural form. So for example, j'habite aux États-Unis. Again, I do the liaison with O. The X is pronounced because the next letter is E from États-Unis, a vowel. So j'habite aux États-Unis. Can you guess which country this is? Yes, it's the United States. So when I say j'habite aux États-Unis, I'm saying I live in the United States. Again, in English, it is in its plural form. So in French, it's also in its plural form. So we can see exactly why some countries, for example, États-Unis, have plural forms. So we have also Pays-Bas. Pays-Bas is the Netherlands, also in a plural form, both in English and in French. So I would say, j'habite aux Pays-Bas. No liaison here because Pays-Bas starts with a consonant. J'habite aux Pays-Bas, I live in the Netherlands. So that covers O and O. What about j'habite en? Well, just as how we've looked at the masculine form of the way to say I live in, or just as how we've looked at words or countries that take a masculine form in French, now we're gonna look at those countries that take a feminine form in French. J'habite en is the expression to use before those countries. So this is a list of countries that take the feminine form in French. So we would say j'habite en France. No liaison because France starts with a consonant. However, j'habite en Angleterre. There's a liaison there because Angleterre starts with the vowel A. Angleterre is England. J'habite en Jamaïque. Can you guess what country that is? Well, if you've guessed Jamaica, you got it right. J'habite en Barbade. I live in Barbados. J'habite en Australie. J'habite en Australie. I live in Australia. J'habite en Espagne. I live in Spain. J'habite en Belgique. Belgique is Belgium. J'habite en Martinique, Guadeloupe, en Allemagne, en Suisse, en Inde, en Chine. We know Martinique and Guadeloupe have the same names in English. Allemagne is Germany, Swiss is Switzerland, and is India, and Chine is China. Make sure that if you're writing down these names of countries in French, you're also writing their equivalents in English. Okay? This is very important vocabulary, so you do well to write it down. And practice, of course. So here are some expressions that don't follow any particular rule. And I say that because they're set expressions that, there's no rule attached to them. But these are expressions to generally state the sort of landscape in which you live. So, j'habite en ville. If you look at the picture right beside en ville, you'll see that it's a cityscape. So, j'habite en ville means I live in the city. J'habite aux alentours de la ville means I live in the suburbs. And you can replace la ville for the name of the city. So you could say j'habite aux alentours de Kingston. J'habite aux alentours de Paris. And that would mean I live in the suburbs or on the outskirts of that particular city. And lastly, we have j'habite à la campagne. You'll see in the video where it shows a picture of a wonderful, lovely rural landscape. So we know that j'habite à la campagne means I live in the countryside. Now it's your turn to tell us, où habitez-vous? Écrivez en commentaire en bas. So let us know where you live in a comment down below. Make sure you use French. Merci beaucoup d'avoir regardé cette vidéo. Please like, share and subscribe. Au revoir!